I need your judgment on this one. My roommate Claire pushed me to my limit by stealing my food, and I got my revenge in a way that still makes me laugh and cringe. It's a wild story, so buckle up. Was I the asshole for how I handled it? You decide. Claire and I moved in together last year after meeting through a mutual friend. We were both broke college students, so sharing a tiny apartment near campus seemed like a smart move. At first, things were great, she was fun, we'd watch Netflix together, and we split chores like civilized people. But then the food theft started. I'm not talking about borrowing a slice of bread or a splash of milk. This was next level. My leftovers? Gone. My snacks? Vanished. Even my fancy artisanal cheese I splurged on for a date night. Devoured, with the empty wrapper mocking me in the fridge. I labeled everything with my name in big, bold Sharpie. Kate's chicken. Kate's yogurt. Didn't matter. Claire would eat it and act clueless, like, oh, I thought it was mine. I tried talking to her politely at first. Hey, Claire, can you stop eating my stuff? I'm on a budget. She'd laugh it off, say she was starving, and would replace it. Spoiler, she never did. Once, she ate my 15 truffle cheese I'd saved for a special night with my boyfriend. I was livid, but she just shrugged and said, oops, my bad. I was done being nice. The final straw came during finals week. I'd been studying nonstop, surviving on coffee and stress. I'd ordered takeout pad thai, my comfort food, and labeled it clearly, Kate's, do not touch. I came home after a brutal exam, dreaming of that pad thai, only to find the container empty in the trash. Claire was on the couch, scrolling TikTok, with peanut sauce on her shirt. I asked, did you eat my pad thai? She giggled and said, yeah, it was so good. I'll Venmo you later. That was it. I wasn't just mad, I was ready for war. I didn't yell or cry. I smiled, said, no worries, and started plotting. Claire needed to learn a lesson, and I was going to make it memorable. I'm not a monster, but I can be petty when pushed. I remembered Claire's weakness, chocolate. She'd once eaten an entire box of my Girl Scout cookies in one sitting. So I decided to weaponize her sweet tooth. I'd heard about laxative pranks online, thanks, Reddit. And while I didn't want to hospitalize her, I figured a mild lesson in consequences wouldn't hurt. I bought a box of over-the-counter laxative powder, nothing dangerous, just enough to make her regret her choices. Then, I baked a batch of double chocolate brownies, her kryptonite. I mixed in a carefully measured dose of laxative, following the package instructions to keep it safe but effective. I frosted them, sprinkled on some sea salt for that gourmet vibe, and left them on the counter with a sticky note. For Claire and Joy! To make it believable, I left a fake text on my phone, visible on the lock screen, saying I'd baked them as a peace offering for our misunderstanding. I knew she'd fall for it. She had zero self-control around desserts. Then I left for the library, knowing I'd be gone for hours. I came home that evening to chaos. Claire was nowhere in sight, but the brownie tray was half empty, crumbs everywhere. The bathroom door was shut, and let's just say the noises coming from there were intense. I knocked and asked, "You okay in there?" She groaned. "What was in those brownies?" I played dumb. Just chocolate and love. Why? She didn't answer, but the toilet flushed about 20 times that night. The next day, she confronted me, looking pale and miserable. "Did you put something in those brownies?" I blinked innocently and said, "Like what? Sugar?" She couldn't prove anything, but she knew. I admitted it was a prank, saying, "Maybe now you'll stop eating my food." And she was furious but too embarrassed to push it. Word got out to our friends, who thought it was hilarious. Claire started keeping her snacks in her room after that. A month later, Claire moved out, citing personal differences. I got a new roommate who respects my fridge space. I'm not proud of stooping to laxative-level petty, but damn, it felt good to see Claire face the consequences of her sticky fingers. My food's safe now, and I've got a story to tell. But I wonder, did I cross a line? It was just a prank. I need to unpack this mess and get your take. My older sister Anna hooked up with my ex-boyfriend Jake, and when I found out, I blew up their secret in a way that turned our family upside down. I feel both vindicated and guilty. So here's the full story. Was I the asshole for how I handled it? Buckle up, it's a wild ride. Anna and I were always close growing up, despite our 5-year age gap. She was the perfect sister, pretty, confident, always the one Mom and Dad bragged about. I looked up to her, even if I sometimes felt like I was living in her shadow. I met Jake in college, and we dated for 3 years. He was my first serious relationship, charming, a bit of a bad boy. But he made me feel special. We talked about moving in together, maybe even marriage someday. Anna knew him well. She'd hang out with us sometimes, and I thought she liked him as a friend. Turns out, I was clueless. Jake and I broke up 6 months ago. He said he needed space, which hurt, but I accepted it. I was trying to move on, focusing on my job as a graphic designer and leaning on Anna for support. She'd bring me coffee, listen to me cry, and tell me I deserved better. I thought she was being the best sister ever. Spoiler, she wasn't. Last month, I was out with a friend at a bar downtown. It was a rare night out, and I was starting to feel like myself again. Then I saw them, Anna and Jake, tucked in a corner booth, all cozy. His arm was around her, and they were laughing, their faces way too close. My stomach dropped. I hid behind a menu and watched, hoping I was wrong. But then they kissed, and I felt like the world stopped. My sister, my ex, together. I slipped out before they saw me, my hands shaking so bad I could barely call an Uber. At home, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying every moment. Anna comforting me, saying Jake was a jerk while she was secretly with him. I texted a mutual friend who confirmed they'd been sneaking around for months, even before Jake and I broke up. Anna had known he was cheating on me and still went for him. The betrayal hit like a freight train, not just from Jake, but from my own sister, who I'd trusted with everything. I was a mess of anger and hurt, but I didn't confront Anna right away. Screaming at her felt too easy. She'd just deny or deflect, like she always did. I wanted her to feel the sting of exposure, the way I felt humiliated. Jake, too. So I got strategic. I had a blurry photo from the bar. I'd snapped it before I left, almost on instinct. It wasn't clear enough to be undeniable, but it was enough to raise eyebrows. I also had screenshots from our mutual friend texts, where Anna bragged about stealing Jake and how she deserved some fun. I decided to use Instagram, where our whole family and friend circle followed me. I crafted a story post, keeping it vague but pointed. When you find out your sister and your ex think they're slick, family loyalty. I attached the blurry bar photo, showing just enough Anna's distinctive red hair, Jake's leather jacket. Then I tagged them both, knowing it would notify everyone. For extra measure, I posted a cryptic caption on my feed. Blood doesn't always mean loyalty. I knew Anna's husband, Tom, was active on Insta, and he'd see it. The post went live at 8 p.m. on a Saturday. By 9 p.m., my phone was blowing up. Friends DM'd me, shocked. My cousin called, asking what was going on. Tom, Anna's husband, saw the story and messaged me directly. Is this true? I sent him the screenshots. No explanation. Just the raw evidence. He confronted Anna that night. Apparently, she tried to lie, saying it was just a fling. But Tom wasn't having it. By morning, he'd moved out and their marriage was in shambles. The family group chat exploded. Mom was crying, Dad was furious, and Anna was calling me nonstop, leaving voicemails calling me a petty bitch. I didn't pick up. Jake texted me, begging me to clear things up, claiming I'd ruined his life. I blocked him. Our friends took sides. Most rallied around me, but a few said I should have kept it private. Anna's now persona non grata at family gatherings, and Tom's filing for divorce. She's living with a friend, and Jake's back to being single and figuring things out. I don't regret exposing them. Anna betrayed me in the worst way, and Jake was no saint either. Seeing their lies unravel felt like justice. I'm focusing on myself now. New projects, therapy, even started dating again. But the fallout's heavy. Mom says I broke the family, and some relatives think I went too far by airing it online. I could have confronted Anna privately, but would she have owned up? Probably not. Still, seeing her marriage collapse and Knowing I pulled the trigger makes me feel a little sick sometimes.